We are at Road Atlanta, driving the Porsche GT3R, and I'm going to do a track walk. I'll start with a lap run at full speed. Then I'm going to do a slow down lap and talk about the corners and the straights, of course. And finally, I'm going to do a fast lap again. Well, on to the slow lap. Driving down the front straight. We're looking for the end of the wall that you see on the left showing up right now. We are going to brake briefly, just enough to slow the car enough that we can get around the corner. And we're going to turn in early because the track gets pretty wide on the other side of the corner. And the main thing we have to make sure we do is get on the curb or very close to the curb on the right. Because if we don't do that, then there's a very high chance of running into the grass and, in many cases, into the wall that's on the other side of the grass. So here we go, braking, and the apex. And now what we got to do is we got to try to get over to the cone on the right. The further right we are, the better we are set up for the next set of corners. We made the... Now, this is a blind crest. So what you want to do is you want to line the car up with the tree that you see in the middle of the track. Once you have that lined up, drive straight at it, and just as you crest the hill, turn a little bit to the left in order to open up the right-hander that we're going to go through very, very quickly after the crest of the hill. So here we go. Took a little bit of apex. You can actually take a lot here. And from this point on, you really want to go as fast as you can through the S's. Some of the really good drivers can do it at full speed. I have to do the occasional lift. And the first time we brake is at the far end that you see down in the distance. Get over on the left. Look for the curb right here. Turn, because this corner was blind. And here, what you want to do is you want to start braking in a straight line towards the curb you see on the left, which we want to take a fair bit of, as we make a sharp left turn. Now it's important that you get over here on the curb and that you are not too harsh on the throttle, because if you do that, you're going to spin, you're going to hit the wall on the left. So I'm in third, and I turn in, take some curb, get on the throttle, and as you can see, you can track out pretty far in that corner. As we go down toward the next corner, we're looking for the 200 marker on the left. We're not going to brake yet. We're going to brake somewhere between the 200 marker, there's a line in the track next to it, and the next line, which is the 100 line. As in almost all the corners here, make sure that you're all the way at the outside of the track as you brake and before you turn in. This is a fairly fast corner, and if you do it right, you can make up a lot of time in right here. So we're getting through the corner, and we want to track out all the way and drive all the way at the left side of the track, getting ready for the most important corner of the track, which is the one leading up to the straight. Now here, there are no good brake markers. What I do is I look for the end of the curb on the left. It's pretty hard to see, but as soon as it comes into view, I hit the brake. I brake pretty hard, and then I turn in at the end of the curb. And what I want to do is I want to get some curb. Actually, no, I do not want to hit the curb hard on the right, because that upsets the car and delays getting on the throttle. Instead, what I want to do is I want to just miss the curb and do a late apex. And the later I can make that apex, the faster I can get on the throttle and maintain speed down the main straight. So here we go. We're on the main straight. And I could have had a little bit more speed, because you really want to track out all the way to the left. If you get too early at apex and get too hard on the throttle, you are almost guaranteed to spin into the wall on the right. Down the main straight. Basically as fast as you can go, and taking the shortest line you can take. And we're approaching the final chicane, which is actually very fast. And if you do it right, you can maintain a lot of speed and gain a lot of time here. So the braking point is the sign that you see on the right. And you want to brake in a straight line pretty hard, and you want to apex where you can see everybody else has been, you want to turn in where everybody else has been turning in. So braking, end of the curb, or a little before, turn in, make as late an apex as you can. I didn't drive this perfectly. If I drive this perfectly, I actually turned it a little too early. I end up being parallel with the line on the left. I'm going to get on the gas as soon as we get rolling again. And from here on and all the way to the start-finish line, I'm on full gas. So after you've tracked out after the chicane, you want to get way over to the right. If you don't do that, you're going to have some trouble maintaining speed down to the final corner and the start finish line. So we are tracking over to the right, and now what we're doing is we're looking for the end of the curb on the left. I'm pointed straight at it. You want to get all the way over to that curb and basically still on full throttle, as you can see. And then I want to turn in and ensure that I get on the curb or close to the curb on the right. If you do that right in this car, you can actually stay on full throttle the whole way to the start finish line. And that worked. I'm still on full gas, and here we go. So finally, lap at full speed with no commentary. What I suggest you do is you actually play that several times. With the trace at the top, you can see brake and throttle application points, and of course the video image will show you where I turn in, where I apex, and where I track out to. So that's it. Thank you, and no snide comments about my throttle brake overlap. Hope you find it useful.